Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Cherise and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
And so, good morning, everybody. This is Cherise B, and I am Natalie E.
Hey.
This is the Together podcast, where we come together to help you get it together. And I'm so excited today because we actually didn't have it. We didn't start off with a topic, but we started talking about what people are needing right now, what we're hearing right now.
Yeah.
And Cherise said it's money, that people are struggling with money.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to talk about some basic things, going back to the basics. I've actually been doing that in my business. So I think, Cherise, I don't think you were here. And I had disclosed that, my income dropped by about $5,000 a month. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, wait, I thought I was okay. And then I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Apparently I needed that money. And so, and it was 3 or 4 things that happened. And then it was just like, whoa. So I've been feeling the money crunch too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I would like to say, though, it feels much different today than it has felt historically.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like in a panic. But one of the things and what we're going to talk to you guys about today is going back to your basics. And are you doing the things that you did to build the first time around? Like, have you completely forgotten about that? Yeah. And so I'll tell you, actually, Cherise, I'm going to let you speak to the people. And then I'll jump in with some things that I know that I got to go back to the basics and do. Okay.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We're happy you're here. We're happy to be here. And today is the money conversation I've been hearing. And, just so many people back to back the conversations about where's my money.
Yep.
And conversations with people that have never had the money issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or talked about it.
Yeah.
Openly.
Yeah.
And I think it's tricky for me with this economy thing, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, because we've always created our own money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We've always created our own opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
But the climate that we are in now, is different.
Yeah.
But I also think that we have to be careful not to fall in the energy, in the broke energy of, ain't no money, ain't nobody got this and ain't nobody got that. So let's be clear. Oh, yes, this thing is different. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
But are the opportunities different?
Yeah.
Is the ability for us to create, what we created in the beginning different? Have we gotten too far away from the basics?
Mm-hmm.
And, thinking that things are just automatic. A lot of people, I believe, in a conversation I had just yesterday or day before, okay, yes, we have online. It's free marketing. It's to more people in the masses. But let's be clear. That thing was kind of free range in the beginning, and now that thing is business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you can go online marketing and thinking that you can play around. You really have to have a game plan and a system how you're showing up, right?
Yeah.
So that'll go back to the basics, but then now you're meeting a different system and a different machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But bottom line, what were the basics that worked then and will work now as well?
Yes. Okay, you said so many things. So I want to, first of all, you hinted at this, and I want to say it explicitly. And you guys, I need you to embody this for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Every business doesn't go down in a recession. There are a good amount of businesses that make more money during a recession than they do when the market is up.
Yes.
And so I need you to determine in your mind, what are the things that I can do to recession proof myself? And what are some things that maybe I can offer that will increase my finances during a recession. So don't just think we're in a down market, so I'm going to be down because that's the way it goes. That is not the way it goes.
Yes.
There's a good amount of companies that they be waiting on a recession because of what it means. And you guys, all of this is really perception.
Yes.
Perception. If people look around, not that many people they know lost their jobs. Everybody is actually pretty okay. And so just pay attention to what you're saying and what you're thinking and what you're feeling. If you're feeling, oh, like this is about to be my best season ever. Oh, that's about to be the year that I come up. Then it will be that year for you. And so just understand that mindset plays such a part of it. Okay. I want to go back and talk about actually two different things. So that was one. Actually, so maybe three different things. That was one. Making sure your mindset is of growth and of profit and of plenty and of I can grow.
Yeah.
Okay, I can grow because plenty of people grow in a downturn economy. Plenty of people, cash and checks. All right, that's one. Two, online marketing is one excellent strategy. Don't forget public, what I call beat the pound the pavement marketing. So this is literally getting out and networking with people, literally going to meet people. Doing the cold calls, the cold sales, the cold introductions, getting yourself out there. And so I love online marketing. Love it. And sometimes it's not enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so by the time I spent 2 hours coming up with 2 posts, I could have actually been literally meeting somebody for coffee or something that could turn into a referral source that could last for years. And so I want you guys to think about, okay, am I doing everything that I used to do out in public? Am I leaving my house? How many meetings do I actually have per week? How many network meetings am I going to? How many events am I showing up at? How many table booths do I have? How many speaking events am I going out there and doing? And so sit down and think, what did you used to do when you first started? And are you doing the same thing? Are you doing? Okay. So that part of it. Now, just look at your basics of your business. And so one of the things that we used to do in my business is send out thank you cards, send out birthday cards. We don't do any of that anymore. Between moving, pandemic, transition, everything, we don't do any of that anymore. We used to send people little key chains with the little, those little rocks that say hope, love, peace, and the various words. We used to send that to people as thank you gifts for being in service with us. We don't do any of that anymore. We used to talk with doctors and ask them to be referral sources for us. So if we had a client, so like you, my client, you come in, you tell me who your doctor is, I reach out to your doctor. We haven't done that. I can't remember the last time we've done that. Yeah. And so I want to give you guys some specific hard instructions to do today. Okay. So that you feel like you're making effort, that you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing. Because we can fool ourselves into thinking we're working and we're not working. And this has been coming up for me lately because I'm restudying sales. Yeah. And so in restudying sales, I'm restudying prospecting, I'm restudying cold calling. And they were saying how you can sit down and think that you worked all day long. They're like, if you are not keeping track of the amount of cold calls / cold emails that you're sending out, you'll lie to yourself. You'll say, oh, I worked all day long. And then when you look at the numbers, you realize you only sent one email that was an actual prospect.
That's good.
And so they were saying, you've got to know your numbers. You've got to keep a record so that you don't lie to yourself. I've also heard people say that about going to the gym. You'll say, oh, I've been going to the gym every day. But if you don't track it, you actually don't know. And you'll look at your calendar and be like, oh, shoot, I actually only went to the gym three times last month, according to the tracker. And so you need to keep yourself accountable on the numbers. So let me go back and try to make this into steps. All right. First, I want you guys to make a list of everything you used to do in your business to build your business that you don't do anymore. Make the list. Okay. All right. 2, I want you to critique that list and figure out what can you bring back into your business today. So critique it and what can you bring back into your business today. Now, I'll tell you, some of you guys are going to want to say something like, well, cold calling never worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then maybe you need to bring that back into your business and try it now. Just because it didn't work yesterday doesn't mean it's not going to work today.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Also, with that, and you guys, because all of this is fresh on my mind, is knowing your numbers. And so if you're doing something like, let's say, flat out making cold calls, if you're flat out making cold calls and you realize that you only get one sale for every 20 calls you make, then if you need 5 sales, that means you have to make 100 calls. Mm-hmm. It is. And so really get down, sit down, and know what your numbers are. But back to the list. Number 1 was make a list of everything you used to do. Mm-hmm. Number 2, critique the list to see what you need to bring back. Number 3, bring it back. Number 4, track your numbers. Mm-hmm. Track your numbers. Yeah. And you guys, track your numbers going in and going out. And I say this to you guys, please understand it's not from a place of judgment. It is from a place of, I wasn't tracking my numbers, which is why I didn't know I was 5,000 down until I was like, what is going on? Like, why am I broke? Like, hey, this is crazy. And then I sat down like, oh, shoot. Okay, now that makes sense. That makes sense. And so, but it didn't happen until I tracked my numbers, which I should have been. I just fell off. Mm-hmm. I fell off. So track your numbers so you know what's going in and what's coming out. Mm-hmm. You know what's going in. And you guys, there's no shame around this. If you need to get an accountant, a bookkeeper, most of us who are creatives are not the best with our numbers and tracking our numbers. Okay. So when I'm talking about tracking numbers for sales or actions of what you're actually doing, keep it simple. You can do regular paper and pen if you want to, like the old school calendar that the insurance company gives you, and just write 5 calls made, 5 actual calls made, like when they actually have been done, and just keep track of what you're doing. So you can see week after week after week, am I doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go over here. Number 1, we'll list everything you used to do that you're not doing no more. Number 2, critique that list to see what you can bring back. Number 3, actually bring it back. Number 4, track your numbers. Track your numbers so you actually know what's happening. And then number 5, I'm going to kind of double down, know your numbers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if I know that I have to make 20 calls to get 1 sale, and I know I need 5 sales a week to make what I need as my monthly income to be able to afford everything, my nails, my hair, the food, everything. Now I know my numbers. Yes. I know how many sales I need per week, what amount of money I need coming in, so I can deconstruct that to, okay, how many calls I need. So I want you guys, we had this conversation a long time. I'm glad we're having it today. So I really want you guys to know your numbers. So you're going to track your numbers. Like, what are you actually doing? You actually doing? Then know your numbers. Know all the way down to, if I'm trying to make $100,000 per year, guess what? About $8,000, $9,000 per month. So that's going to be about $2,300 a week. And for me to bring that number in, this amount of actions brings that number in. You guys, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah, the numbers don't lie.
All right, take it, Cherise. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to piggyback on some mindset work about lying to yourself.
Speak. Oh, preach. Go ahead. Right? You got it.
You hit that nail on the head when you said stop lying to yourself. Like you will mess around and be thinking you're working or going to the gym or eating right or
preach.
Showing up where you're supposed to show up, and you lying to yourself. Yep. So I want to speak to that loop of lies that we tell ourselves. For instance, I had an example. Hold on, it'll come back to me in a second. But just have I really been working? Oh, here's the example. Okay, so truth and transparency. Ooh. All right. So when I call myself leaving the chair, right? in which I did. I did leave the salon, and
I can testify to that.
yes, and I was taking my life in a different direction. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can do this. I can do it. Okay. So just to be blunt, I didn't have my numbers right. I didn't have my time right. I didn't have my system set up right. It wasn't right. And not only that, my heart wasn't right. Because you know why I was so tired? You know why I was so ready to come from behind the chair? And I need everyone to tap in. I was burnt the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was lying to myself about why I wanted to leave the chair. No, I wasn't lying. I was tired. But I would not have been as tired had I had the proper system set up, because I love doing hair. I love women. I love the whole image and identity thing, because my whole hair business has morphed into my identity, my image and identity work.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
abundance work. It morphed into that. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to do that work, and I'm just going to do the coaching, and I'll style for, a certain amount of people. Well, yes, that was the goal, and that was what I was doing, but I didn't have it set up in a system that was sophisticated enough for me to come from behind that chair properly, right?
Yep.
And then I had to just everything when those numbers weren't adding up right. So let's be truth and transparency.
Right.
Numbers weren't adding up right. I had to read everything. And here's the thing. I was also afraid of going back to the chair the old way.
Gotcha.
You understand?
Yeah.
For 30 years,
right.
I was behind that chair hustling. And that's what burnt me out, right? But not only that, truth and transparency, that freaking overhead, well, it'll take you out.
Yeah.
So, an overhead, so think about it. Over 17 years of overhead growth, and you haven't grown that business the way it should grow. So if the business hasn't grown into the overhead,
right?
You talk about burnout and overwhelm.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Right. So we got to take a side note real quick. Some of y'all's money is funny because you grew faster than your numbers wanted you to grow. So you went and hired one person too many. You went and added on that new software that you weren't sure how you were going to pay for it yet. Cherise has always said your hires should pay for themselves. Did you think about that? Like, that's something she said over and over and over again. Did you think about that when you made your hires? And so, yeah. Okay. And Cherise, I just thought about it. I might not be streaming to your Facebook page. Okay. So take back over and talk about that, because you've always talked about that. The hires should be able to pay for themselves. You've talked to us about that. And I know some of you guys are still out there hiring people and not thinking about how you're going to pay for them because the money was feeling good. Now your money ain't feeling good. And now you're looking at everybody like, do I need to lay people off? Okay. So you work on that, and I'm going to make sure I'm streaming to your Facebook page.
Well, don't worry about it. Don't stress yourself on that.
Okay.
I'm going to do a live. So
good stuff, though. I don't want you want the people missing it. Okay, go ahead, though. Talk to them about that. Talk to them about hiring.
Yeah. So that goes back to knowing your numbers. Okay. And if you don't know those numbers, are you hiring with knowing your numbers, or are you hiring to create those numbers? Because that was your first hire should be someone who's profitable, someone who's and guaranteed money in with you and for you, right? And to be all the way clear, we're talking about small businesses here. I'm personally talking to small therapist business, salon, businesses, real estate businesses, right? Small 1 to 3 to 5 employees or contractors, right? That's it. So we're really literally talking about the first or second hire, right?
Yeah.
And solopreneurs that need help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you hire an assistant? Can you hire a virtual assistant? I've heard so many people say they can't afford a virtual assistant. That should be the least of our worries.
Yeah.
If you are in business for yourself, you should be able to hire someone that can do some virtual assistant work for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? That can assist you with those numbers, making more money and keeping up with the numbers.
You guys, the only reason Cherise and I have been able to do this over 3 years, which I just honestly, God, can't believe, is because of our virtual assistant, Q, my virtual assistant. And so, Q, first of all, thank you for being in the background. And second of all, some of you guys' money is inconsistent and all over the place because you haven't gotten the right support. When you get the right support, you will see consistency like never before. Mm-hmm. And I know it's scary. And yet it has to be done. It has to be done. But sit down and think about it. So, okay. All right. So, Cherise, let's talk for real. If I'm that person who I can't keep doing it like I've been doing it, mm-hmm. I know I need to offshoot, but I'm feeling financially tight. Mm-hmm. So what would you tell them to do? Because it feels like, okay, I can't grow, but I can't go back. I can't grow, but I can't go back. So what would you tell that person?
Well, you have to know your numbers. I'll stick with you on that one. You have to know your numbers, but you also have to be bold enough to go out, interview a few people, and make sure they are on the same page when it comes to bringing more money in your business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I've had a tendency to choose people who seem like they can bring more in and happy and, excited about it, but really don't know, don't have or know what it takes. Well, let me take that back. They have what it takes. They don't quite know. Because the other thing I want to touch on is everybody isn't an entrepreneur. We made entrepreneurship look cute and fun. Okay. And if you don't know how to kill what you eat and eat what you kill, you are in trouble when it comes to entrepreneurship.
So I'm also, if you don't know how to ride a down cycle of your business, then you might not need to do this work.
I need to do it.
Because no matter what business it is, you are going to have up cycles and down cycles. And so if you're the person that when you're having a down cycle in your business, that you fall apart and you crying and, oh my God, I'm the most terrible in the world, person in the world, and I made all these mistakes and how should I? You might not need to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. And make after bad decision.
Right. And so there has to be some type of separation between you and the business. This is what we're trying in the business. This is going to be our research and development phase. We're going to see what works and see what doesn't work. We're going to have products that fail. We're going to put products out in the market that don't work. And that's all part of it. And we're going to get stalled. And then there's going to be something that's going to happen that's completely out of our control. And so being able to take all of that in stride is such a big part of being an entrepreneur, such a huge part. So, okay. I want to, what do I want to say? Okay. Let me say this part because I do want to say this part. This is what I was going to say. Got it. All right. Please, in figuring out your money, I think all of you guys, if you're struggling with money, I'm going to invite you to take a half day or a full day and go sit down and do all of this writing. So I want you to write. I want you to journal. I want you to figure out, has my mindset changed around money? Have I had anything that has traumatically happened to me in business that has shut me down a little bit? And so that can happen and we don't realize it. And so let's say we have a failure to launch. We had a launch that failed. We were trying to put on an event and we hoped that 100 people would show up and we only had one person sign up and pay. So we are hurt and devastated. That could be shutting you down from everything you're doing in your business and you may not even realize it. And so we'll lie to ourselves. I'm not doing it because, I just ain't happy with the direction my business was going. No, your feelings got hurt and you didn't have enough resiliency. And so now you over here floundering, but that's really where it was at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you guys that was it on Prime or Netflix? The Tyler Perry's like documentary of him like crying in the rain and nobody showed up at the show.
Yeah.
That is encouraging. If you're an entrepreneur and you need some encouragement right now, I think go to that, because he knew he was on the right path and couldn't understand why it was working like it was working for a while. Yeah. And so actually I didn't watch the movie. I just heard about it, but it sounded good. But even in that movie Dolomite, which I watched multiple times, when he hit the wall and couldn't get over the hump of like, how do I actually get this movie out? Both of them fabulous movies. Yeah. So sit down and do your writing. That's what I was saying. Do your numbers, do your introspection, figure out what's going on. When you look for the answers, they will come.
Yeah. Yeah.
You seek, you will find. When you knock, the door will be open. When you look for these answers, they're going to come. Yeah. One of the things I want you to do also with your hiring is sit down and write all the things that you're doing. Then put them into 2 columns: the literal, actual money-making activities, and then all of the other stuff you're just doing because you think that need to be done. Mm-hmm. Right. That's where you're going to start with who you hire and what you hire them to do. Mm-hmm. And then you got to pay attention to what your money-making activities are. Mm-hmm. So do you know, like, can you articulate what is your, I'm going to use the word funnel, but I meant bigger than that. Like, not just the online funnel that we do with email sequences and all of that. I'm talking about, what is your overall funnel? How do people meet you? How do they meet your business? Then how long do they need to know about you and your business before they take the next step? And then before that, like when was the last time you reviewed that client journey? That's what they're calling it these days, client journey. When was the last time you reviewed that? When was the last time you got in front of some new people? And so that's another thing, is maybe all the way back to who moved my cheese. Is your cheese dwindling and you're refusing to go look for new cheese somewhere else? Right? And so let's go real basic. Mm-hmm. You were in an area of town that gave you a certain access to a certain population. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That area of town is changing for whatever reason. Yeah. And so now you don't have access to the same population. Yeah. Just that simple. Sometimes it's just that simple of, oh, my people moved. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me move with my people. And so definitely there's a transition that people go through, right? Just simple. Graduate from college, get an apartment. After I get an apartment, find a partner, then we buy a house. And then we buy a house, raise the kids, then we buy another house because we don't need one that big anymore. And so there's a natural transition to people. Yes. And knowing what the transition of your client is. Oh, y'all, I was watching, what's that show? Bar Rescue? I don't know if y'all ever seen it. I love that show. But this one bar, what happened is their clientele aged out of the system. Like who they were catering to, they just honestly got old and stopped coming to the club. And so they were talking about, okay, so if you have a bar and you serve like an age population, then you have to keep it fresh for the new group, for that next generation. Like if you only serving 30-year-olds, your 30-year-olds that you've been serving are going to grow up to be 40-year-olds. So now you need to speak to the new 30-year-old. And so if that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. Or if you're going to change with your population, realize you got to change with your population. So if they used to be having in club and now they hanging out at birthday parties, do you want to change your restaurant to where it's family friendly now so they can come back and they can stay with you? And so, that was such a good episode. Such a good episode of like just knowing your client base and what they're going through. And so a lot of you guys are probably coaches like Cherise and I. And so you can grow with your population. You can. And just your next set of services is what they need next. I don't follow Amy Porterfield. She's like an online marketer, but I just recently noticed that she's transitioning. I've just noticed in her ads. She's transitioning, so I can tell she's growing with her population. So basically she came in at the beginning. This is how you make your first few dollars on online marketing. And now she's kind of not catering to those people anymore. Now she's talking to the people about how do you get your systems in place? How do you get from 6 figures to 7 figures and stuff like that? So I can just tell her marketing has changed. And so you can do that too. So that might also be a reason why your money is funny. Your clients have grown past you. So you can catch up in now. And so I'm going to challenge you guys to do some interviews with your ideal client and make sure you still know the voice of your client. What are their primary pain points? How are they verbalizing the pain points? And so that's important because if you're marketing, if you did all of this research 20 years ago and your marketing has been working for 20 years, we don't realize that the language has actually changed. And so one of my friends, she was just saying she put her meditation book into ChatGPT and asked it what it said. And she wrote it 17 years ago. And Chat said it's outdated. The language is outdated. So is the language you're using outdated? And we were both like, But we do see where we've made some changes. And we're just talking about the word information. In formal writing, I write the word information out, but culture has actually changed. Info is an acceptable word.
An acceptable word, right?
It is. And so it's really taking the word of information. We don't need the whole word anymore. And so it's little things like that you need to revamp. Okay. So we have said a lot. If y'all didn't get nothing, y'all got answers today. Y'all got real answers today. So let me go back through the things that you need to be doing. All right. 1, make a list of everything you used to do. Critique the list and see what you need to bring back. Number 3, actually bring it back. Then number 4, track your numbers. Number 5, know your numbers. Know what you need to do each and every day so that you make your weekly goals, so that you make your monthly goals, so that you're hitting the income you need to hit. All right. Also, in know your numbers was know what's going in and what's going out. Okay. And that's where I messed up. I thought what was coming in was actually, I didn't know what number was coming in, y'all. I was off for a long time because everything was coming in and we were paying the bills and it was feeling good. So I stopped paying attention to what was going in. So when it started dwindling, I didn't know. And so then I was like, why am I feeling stressed? But it's all because I wasn't paying attention to what's coming in and what's going out. And so please make sure you're doing that so you don't make the mistake I did. You're not caught off guard to look up one day. All right. So that was know your numbers. And then number 6 was know what's going in and what's coming out. Number 7 is hire if you need to hire. Hire if you need to hire. Number 8 is know what your money-making things are. It's probably 3 things you can do to make money. You need to make sure that you're doing those 3 things, not all of the other stuff. Cleaning out your email, money for most of us, is not going to make us money. Okay. But sending out 5 cold emails or just redoing your, checking in on your list, sending out a newsletter. Now that might make you some money. So make sure you know your 3 top money-making activities. 3 top money-making activities. And then that takes us back around to track your number because are you actually doing them?
Numbers. All
right. Cherise, I feel like we got number 8. We should have 10 for today. So give us number 9 and number 10.
Oh, well, I'm going to land the plane with, because it was so much information today, a lot of information. So I'm going to land the plane with get back to your basics regardless.
Yeah.
Okay. And so one thing I would like to speak to.
Oh, that was good.
And personally, right? I realized when it goes back to my 3 things, the way that I want to do hair, I don't mind the 4 a.m. You know, some people like, don't nobody get up in the 4 a.m. Yes, they do.
Yes, we do. We absolutely do. That's why I came to you.
Right? So that's one of my niches, right? Secondly, I'm a hair I'm a cut and color girl. I can whip that cut and color up so quick, so fast, right? And in the area that I've moved into, local marketing. Okay. So cut color local marketing and ensure that I am marketing. I've never marketed. I've lived word of mouth.
Okay. Well, word of mouth is marketing. It's just that anybody who's doing word of mouth, I would like you to add a little structure to it so that we can count it as a bona fide identified system for you. Yeah. So, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, word of mouth is good, but you got to do some nowadays. Structure. You got to do some structured marketing, right? Some structured online marketing to fill the space.
Yes.
I want 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. filled up with, and it's only 2 days a week, right? Mm-hmm. And then I have one day where I do 4 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy work. It's like, just get it done. Get it out the way. You know, and I'm not going to talk about the numbers that I can do in that day.
Right.
You know,
right.
You got to get back. Those are the basics for me. So I had to get out of my ego and remind myself, no, this is what you do. This is what's easy for you.
Yeah.
Get it on your book.
I was recently listening to, I actually heard 2 to 3 comedians say this, that they make it to Hollywood, they lose their funny. And how they have to get back out on the road and do those small venues for a little while to figure out what's funny to the people again. Right? Because they're growing their skill in front of live audience, small live audiences. They're testing new material each week in front of live audiences, and they're doing it. But then they start to make it. Now they're doing movies, not in front of live people. You know, they just make it, and how it is very interesting. And so I'm wondering if some of that, as entrepreneurs, if we're experiencing that same thing.
Yeah, of course.
Because now we've made it. Yeah. We've lost our edge. And actually, I've heard some rappers talk about that too.
You know, more than ever,
right?
Like that retirement time, don't have a retirement plan.
Ooh, preach! Oh, girl, preach! So, okay, all right, last.
Good stuff. Shoot, they're done. We done.
We are done. Okay, all right, you guys. Cherise, I hope we got to your page. I'll put this up on our YouTube channel, because this is one you need to listen to probably once a quarter.
Yeah.
This is one that you need to listen to over and over again. Yeah. All right. So this has been me, Natalie E, and the fabulous Cherise B. Yeah. And this is the Together podcast, where we come together to help you get it together. So if you would help us spread the word so that we can help more people to get it together, we would greatly appreciate it. All right. So like us, follow us, share. Like, follow, share. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Audio Jungle.